Welcome back to a brand new video, ladies and gentlemen. This video I'm about to bring you today is about a man. The neighbors call law enforcement on this gentleman specifically because this man is bugging out in his neighborhood. He's running in his neighbor's backyard. He's trying to open his neighbor's door. He's just literally bugging out on drugs. So yeah, the police was called. Now the police just arrived to the neighborhood. Is about to make contact with the gentleman. Yeah, before we start the video, ladies and gentlemen, please like, subscribe, share, and comment. Please watch the video, ladies and gentlemen. Please watch the video. Also, I would appreciate your kindness with some super thanks purchase for the channel. Hope everything is going completely fine. Your neighborhood, your community, within your household, with your families. Let's get into the video, guys. Let's go.
I'll be checking his doors. Oh, front door.
And then I thought, like, and then I was, alright, I'm gonna fucking get him. I literally heard it. And
What's your first name? Ethan, I ran into you before.
I was gonna say you were familiar, right?
Yeah, you were having a bad reaction to drugs at that point.
Oh, dude, I know what you're saying.
Did you take anything today?
No,
Look, you're not in trouble.
No, I got you. I looked rough.
But there's nobody here.
Like 2 days.
But there's nobody here.
No, he just left. Like literally, probably left.
Is this a roommate or a friend of yours or a neighbor?
No, he's a dude.
As you just heard what the officer said to this guy, this is not the first time this guy did some stuff similar to exactly what they were called for at that moment. This guy is known in his neighbor. All his neighbor knows that he's a heavy drug user. So it's not the first time police encounter this gentleman bugging out after he uses drugs. So they know now, that officer that just confronted him, that officer knows 100% this guy is bugging. He's high. He told the officers he hasn't went to sleep for 2 days. Who stays awake for 2 days unless they're doing drugs? It's no way. I sleep for 3-4 hours a day. Still, I go to sleep for 3-4 hours a day because I work 2 jobs and I have to get up to go to the gym. I have a lot of things that's on my mind. I'm trying to have a better life, so I don't sleep a lot. Get up early, go to sleep late. That's my routine. But if you are staying up for 2 days, you know you're on some form of drugs, dude.
Okay. He was like trying to fight me.
Was he checking your door now?
Yeah.
Okay.
You seen him before?
No. I've probably seen him, but like just maybe type shit. I never like.
Okay.
It's a long night.
Alright, what can we do to help you out now? I mean, despite that issue.
Are you going to bed?
You want to do? What did I do? I'm not walking over right now. What's his name?
Are you just knocking on your door trying to get your attention? Or?
Yeah, so I don't know. The guy was knocking on my door and said, "He's not doing what he might do. I'm gonna fight him."
How far down are we going?
There you go.
That's the one?
Yep. No, she wants to talk to you too.
Okay.
And the person he's pointed at is his neighbor, female neighbor. That's one of the people that call 911. She have recorded video of this gentleman breaking into her backyard, trying to get into her property. And she knew who he was. That's the reason why she didn't do nothing to harm him. She just called the police. Because all these guy neighbors know him to be always high on some form of drugs. The neighbors know that about this guy. So now he's telling the officers that was the person that was trying to get into his house. Stay away from drugs, ladies and gentlemen. This is not a laughing matter. It's not a joking matter. Stay away from drugs, bro.
We'll talk to her. Stay in your house, try to get some rest, all right? We'll go talk to her.
So I hear that kid walking and talking to himself and smoking a cigarette on nicotine, drugs like what's going on. Then he's in this backyard, pacing around the yard, this one here, and I'm like, okay, what is he doing? I hear him talking to himself. Next thing you know, I'm trying to go pop him, and I hear he's pulling my fence in the back. And I'm like, what is this person doing? So I started screaming, obviously. And I said, get out. I have him on video. And then after this whole thing happens, he's just pacing between these 3 homes, just standing outside of my house. And I was like, get out of here. So my father's actually coming, because I didn't know him. I followed him twice, but I was like, I don't know if I should call, because it's like he kept saying, your boyfriend or your husband told me that I don't have a husband, and my boyfriend's been doing right now. Like, nobody told you you could go in my backyard. I am very certain my name is on this house. So
get out. Go. You fucking don't. Go. I saw you go into this yard before.
he just keeps going.
Yes, I saw you go back.
To all the females out there, it could be in the United States or all around the world that may see this video, if anybody ever come into your property or anywhere around your property, always make sure whenever you're in your house, if you're by yourself or you're with little kids, always make sure all of your doors are locked. First and foremost, always make sure all of your doors are locked. Make sure your windows are locked. Because you see how terrified this woman is? She's scared. She's scared, and that's her neighbor. That's not somebody she knows this guy to leave a house away from her house. And she's terrified because this guy is pacing back and forth in front of her house. She just sent him in the back of her house. Now he's all of a sudden in the front. And she's terrified. Calling law enforcement and 911. She's just waiting patiently for police to show up, and they can't show up fast enough because she's scared. To all the females out there, if you're home by yourself or you're home with your kids, make sure all the doors in your property are always locked when you're home. Always lock your doors. Always make sure your windows are locked. And if your state have leniency towards carrying weapon or having weapons inside of your house, if you have kids, of course, and you have weapons in your house, please use a lockbox to always lock away your weapon. But I will advise all the women in the entire world, if your state has leniency laws towards firearms, go out and get you a firearm. But before you do that, train how to use it, practice how to use it, how to handle it, and keep it for your safety. I'm just looking at this woman. I imagine I have sisters, my mother. I don't have kids, but I'm just imagining, boy, God forbid somebody in my mother's backyard. Oh my God, forget about it, dude.
For what?
That's where I stopped. I don't know.
So is he like, you said he's shaking the fence or just kind of
Oh
like
no, he was
pacing?
trying to literally get over my fence. And that's when, because I didn't think he was coming in my yard. I thought he was going to be in the Waters used to live here. I thought they were going to be back here, him or whoever it was. So I was like, I have a back door and a screen door that I can kind of listen. So I'm listening and I'm like, I'm hearing the noise come from the other side. So I busted my door open and I saw the hands over my fence going like this. And that fence is like dilapidated. So it's pretty easy for him to break it.
Just to tell you 100% what he's doing, he said somebody breaking into his house, back door, front door, banging on the door, and he told us that person was coming from this area, which was why he thinks that's why he was probably walking here trying to find that person.
Okay, no.
No, we agree.
We all know.
I understand that.
Yeah.
But that's the hallucinations he's dealing with at this point.
Okay.
So you're in no safety issue with him. He is harmless. He just doesn't understand. He's got something running through his mind that's not.
Drug induced
Yes.
or something. So I don't think.
So we're gonna go back down and talk to him and see if.
Yeah, and it was interesting because he kept telling, yeah, I hope so, because he was telling me, and that's what freaked me out. I was like, this guy is trying to break in and he's from the neighborhood,
Yeah.
and that also made me a little bit like, wait a minute, am am I overseeing this right now? But I'm like, no, you are not. He tried to get into your backyard.
Yeah.
But
No, you have legitimate concerns.
Because he knew that he said the Waters used to live here. Because he said, they said I could come back here. I said, who? Who said? Who owns this house?
Okay.
Thank you so much.
You did a good job. Ring camera does a great job. Just
Yeah,
alert
I have
us
one on
and
the
stuff.
back too.
Yeah.
It's helpful, yeah.
Yeah.
Bye, darling.
Yes, ma'am. Yep. Yep. Good night. So we went down and talked to her.
Vasculitis, dude.
Yeah, what?
Vasculitis.
Oh, okay.
We went down and talked to her. She has video of you walking in your yard. Listen to me. Listen, okay? You're talking to yourself. You're making accusations. But listen, I'm not done. Okay? She's scared to death.
I get it.
So it's nothing that she's done. You can.
And the officers once again are trained to de-escalate situation, which they put the woman's mind at ease by telling her that the guy is harmless. He's not going to ever hurt her, or she don't have to feel threatened by this guy. But what if the middle of the night this guy appear in your backyard again, shaking your gate, shaking your door to try to get into your property? What are you going to do now? To me, this is not something to be taken lightly. I don't care what's this guy problem. This guy problem is drugs. He's a drug addict. If he don't decide to get himself help, checked into to a rehab facility and help himself, I don't care what goes on with this. This man is a grown man. But when coming to my property and disturbing my peace and having my family feel threatened or having my family scared of anybody, is going to be a problem. I cannot have been in a neighborhood as that neighbor. I cannot be in a neighborhood living with my family with stuff like that going on, because I'm not going to stand for it. This man is bugging out on drugs all the time, and you're going to think you're going to have the right of way on my family, my kids, my wife, my girlfriend, whomever it is, my mother is not supposed to be scared. If 1, 2, 3 a.m. in the morning, you're in the back of the house, shaking the gate, shaking the door, pacing in front of my property, we're supposed to just be like, oh no, he's harmless, he's not going to do nothing, he's just bugging out on drugs. You're bugging, man.
To her area, she also has video of you trying to get through her fence area.
Yeah.
You can't do these things. Do you understand?
No, I completely understand. I wouldn't have done it unless I thought I heard like an okay from him.
But which is not happening.
Right, no, I literally,
you are clearly hallucinating. Something's going on, and I think it has to refer to what we went through a couple weeks ago.
No, I was literally.
You said you've been up for 4 days.
3.
3 days. That's not normal, correct?
I know.
So, what can we do about this?
Actually, I got a sponsor last night.
You what?
I got a sponsor last night.
Sponsor for what?
Like I kicked everything like 2 weeks ago, and the stuff you were called for, that was some nonsense. I get what you're saying. Yeah.
So you're saying the stuff that you called about is nonsense?
Yeah, I was talking about him when he was at certified. This was like 6 months ago.
A couple weeks ago, we were out here and you were thinking
You called us.
Oh, I do remember that. Yeah.
You called us and said I took something and I'm having a bad reaction to it.
I did.
Yes.
And then
So I'm thinking that's possibly what's happened now. Whether it happened 3 days ago or if it just happened.
Hey, Mom.
Something going on.
Like, dude, I was literally upstairs and heard this, like, commotion with my window open.
Do you feel like you want to go to the hospital, man, and get checked out?
Dude, I was there earlier, and
Earlier when? Today?
I actually went yesterday to get, like, helped out, and the nurse just did a bad job on an IV, so the IV ended up, like,
Where? Show me.
right there.
Yeah.
Also, they did this one.
Having a hard time? Well, gosh, I see your veins. It shouldn't be an
You
issue.
feel like you're in a worse place now than you were yesterday? Or is this just exhaustion and you're seeing things maybe that aren't there?
I'm not seeing anything. I literally just like thought I heard, hey, come get this dude.
So
Because I was alright. So at
we
first,
tell you to go down the street here and start rooting around our house?
no, I heard that through the window.
You heard what?
Like just hooting, hollering. He was supposed to be going inside.
For you parents out there, that's why it's very important to raise your kids to be responsible in life. Raising kids to be entitled by staying home and play video games till they're 40, 50 years old, and then you pass away. And guess what happens to those kids? This is a perfect example of a man who does nothing with his life. Lives in his mother's attic, live in his mother's house for free, don't do absolute nothing with his life but just do drugs. This man don't do nothing but drugs every single day of his life. This is a perfect example for people out there with kids. It's very, very important that you raise your kids to be responsible from being babies. From birth, raise your kids to be responsible. Raise your kids to know that they have to go out and earn an honest living. They have to provide in society. They have to go provide for themselves. Don't raise your kids and make them think it's okay to stay home every day and play video games. Don't go to school. Don't want to work. Don't want to bathe. Don't raise your kids like to be entitled, bro. This man is a man who lives at home for free his whole life. Look how he turned out. He doesn't work. He doesn't do nothing with his life but just do drugs. And who gives him the money for drugs? Absolutely his parents. Gives him the money to go buy clothes or buy food or whatever, but he takes it and buy drugs. And he's just home doing drugs, hallucinating on his neighbors, tripping out on the people who lives around that neighborhood. You out of your mind, dude. This guy needs to get out that neighborhood or get help. Fix him.
Why would you take it upon yourself to walk 5 doors down?
I was like, he should have been inside with his family sleeping.
Who? Right next door.
No.
They have said nothing to us.
Yeah, the woman was just out here.
I should have seen her either, but
Where's your mom at? Is she here?
no, she went there.
I know, but is she?
Oh, she's not. She's down the street.
Where you at, ma'am?
You're at work. Yep. Is that right down the street? Because that's just what he told us.
No, that's what she just said. She wasn't like that.
Are you listening to this conversation we're having?
He's a dumbass. He shouldn't even come.
Well, we're not trying to give you.
Okay, so he called us about someone breaking into his house,
People to get
and then we went down five houses down, and she's got video of your son basically talking to himself and then trying to get her in her fence. Do we think we need to do something with your son today? You do? What hospital do we need to take him to?
Okay. I have no problem with that, you guys.
Get your shoes on. We're going to Doctor's West. You definitely, you need some help, sir. Okay?
I'll be right back. Honestly, I'm not even.
Okay. Well, that's where we're going to go. We're going to take a photo going over there.
Alright. I was just trying to make sure I'm my teeth.
I'll take it.
We're good.
190. One's going to follow.
Still there, man?
Yeah, I'll let you know.
Yeah, I guess he doesn't have a key to get back in.
No, I must have left it in there.
I think he's got a key in the house. We locked the door, but we're gonna take him down the street anyway, all right? Just so you're aware, he's not gonna be able to get back in, I don't think, if they do release him.
Nah, they won't release me today.
Thank you.
Let's go. Well, let's go to 195. No, they won't. I mean, you just need to rest, number one. 3 days up is not cool. You got anything on you? Gonna hurt me, stick me, cut me?
Walnut lighter, cigarettes.
Can we hold on to your stuff up front? We'll get it back to you.
All right, help on in, sir.
You see your wallet, man? Beautiful. Yeah, man, I think a rest would be a lot of good. The belt's not working right. You can slide over.
Gotta love this car. Sorry about that. Get it on. Thank you.
when I put it in reverse. Oh yeah, that always goes off for 5.
Stays on like that?
Stays on, yeah, no matter what.
That's awesome. Okay. Right.
We're gonna end the video right there, ladies and gentlemen, where the officer realized that his car is 100% fine. This gentleman was taken to the hospital where he spent a couple of hours in the hospital and was released back to his house. As you can tell, those two officers was just doing the best to try to figure out how can they help this gentleman, and most importantly help the neighbors. Because this guy is not about this guy. It's about the neighbors that has to live next to this gentleman and always have to be worried about eventually this man is going to flip out. Because when people are on drugs, they're not in the right state of mind. So to the officers, oh, he's harmless. He's not going to do nothing to you. But you never know when this gentleman is going to consume some form of drugs and put in his body that's going to have him flipping out and actually hurt somebody else. For what they've seen so far, that every time he does drugs, he just hallucinate, he just talks to himself, he just bugs out. He doesn't do nothing physical or violent to nobody. That's now. He's a drug addict. So who to say one day this guy's going to do some type of drugs, who knows what drug, and then this guy is going to actually go out and hurt somebody else. It's hard to live around people like that. It's very hard. And for all the women out there, man, like you see, that woman was in her house by herself and she know the guy. She knows it, that's her neighbor. But at the end of the day, he's in her backyard shaking her gate. Then she starts screaming. He appeared in the front of the house and pacing back and forth in front of her house. And she's not supposed to be terrified and scared? Or she's by herself, dude. This is stuff like that is not supposed to happen, man. Drugs are bad, ladies and gentlemen. Stay away from drugs, man. Drugs is a one-way ticket down. It's nothing about drugs that will bring you up to make you have a better life. If you're right here, if you're in the middle of your life, you're living a mediocre lifestyle and you're trying to get up, you got to stay away from drugs. Because all drugs is going to do is going to keep bringing you lower and lower and bring you down. That's all he's going to do. You're never going to reach your potential in life, but you're never going to go up and reach your potential in life by doing drugs. It's only going to bring you down. Eventually, you're all the way on the ground. You have nothing to live for. Everybody you know, you don't disappoint your entire family, all your friends. Nobody want nothing to do with you. That's what drugs does to people. Stay away from drugs, man. And by so many of the states making marijuana legal, it's a setback. It's a setback for society, because marijuana is a drug. Marijuana is it's a gateway drug. Marijuana is one of those drugs that you use. People use it and eventually they do other things. It leads them into doing worse things. From a lot of people that I know who started with marijuana, now they're doing way worse things and it ruined their lives. And nowadays you go to so many states and it's illegal to go just in a store with an ID and just purchase drugs. It's not something that should ever happen. It should have never happened, man. And at the end of the day, it's all about money. It all boils down to money. It make those states a lot of money in taxes. It make those states a lot of money for their state. So they legalize it. It's all about money. Ladies and gentlemen, God bless us all, man. I hope and wish this gentleman the best. I hope he get the help that he really needs. I hope he finally decide to stay away from drugs for the rest of his life. I hope he figure out another way to go through life, man. This is just an example of a gentleman that stays home, that his family never have him learn how to be responsible. As you can tell, this guy stay home every day. Why is his mother is at work? Why is a grown man like him is at home in the middle of the day doing drugs? This people like that is just raised to be bums. For you parents out there that thinks it's okay to raise kids to not be responsible, to raise them to think video games are cool, staying home is cool, not going to school is cool, not getting a job is cool. For those parents out there, I hope you see this video. This is exactly what your kids are going to grow into. That's it. They're going to grow into either drug addict or alcoholics or some type of nonsense that's going to ruin their lives because you choose to raise them to be entitled, to raise them to think that life is sweet, that they don't have to do nothing, just enjoy life. Out of your mind, man. God bless us all, ladies and gentlemen. Always do what's right in the eyes of God and His family, ladies and gentlemen. Always treat people the way you would like to be treated. Always do to others as you would like to get done to yourself. I'll catch you guys in the next video, man. Until then, stay safe, stay positive. Always be good in life, man.